I suppose you wonder what I'm doing with these dominoes. I thought I would use it as a simple illustration of a chain reaction. You see, when one domino is put into motion, it moves the others on down the line. Much the same way, when an atom is split and put into action within a reactor, it moves the other atoms in the immediate proximity. Such activity produces a certain amount of heat energy, and this heat can be used to produce electricity. That simple illustration brings us to the presentation on atomic power in Nebraska, how it relates to Consumer Public Power District Sheldon Station, now under construction at Howell, Nebraska. I'd like to show you some film sequences from this program.
This is electricity, an elemental giant, untamed and unharnessed. This is electricity, too, tamed but feeble, barely able to light a 40-watt bulb. And this is electricity as it serves us today. Again a giant, but tamed and harnessed, and ready instantly to do 1,000 jobs at your bidding. In the home, on the farm, in business and industry, electric power lightens labor, increases efficiency, steps up production. Recognizing the shape of the future, Consumers Public Power District has taken leadership in securing for Nebraska the untold benefits to be realized from the rapid advances in the field of nuclear science. Before harnessing of the atom, one of three methods was usually employed to turn large generators to produce electric power. The force of falling water may be harnessed to turn the blades of the turbine. Or an internal combustion engine may rotate the generator. Or steam released from a high-pressure boiler may be used as the force to turn the generator. Conventionally, the heat released from burning coal, fuel, oil, or natural gas produces the steam. When Consumers' nuclear reactor is completed, the energy or heat released by splitting atoms in a chain reaction will be used to produce the steam. To see how that is done, let's explore the atom. No one has ever seen an atom because it is so small that something like 6 sextillion, that's a 6 with 21 zeros behind it, are contained in a drop of water. Now, through the animated camera, let us look at just one atom. The first thing we notice is that the atom itself is made up of smaller particles. Revolving around a nucleus are electrons. The nucleus itself is made up of two different particles, protons and neutrons. It is this nucleus that we are interested in, as it is the source of all atomic energy. The method of releasing the energy from an atom is called nuclear fission. A neutron collides with the nucleus of a uranium atom. The nucleus absorbs this new neutron and is then unbalanced, which causes the nucleus to split. As this occurs, a great amount of energy is released. Also, 2 or 3 new neutrons are released to find their way to adjoining atoms. This time, 2 nuclei are split and release their energy, and each releases 2 more neutrons to adjoining atoms. This is a chain reaction. If the chain reaction takes place instantaneously, it becomes destructive. If, however, the reaction takes place within a nuclear reactor, the atoms are tamed and put to work constructively. The reactor produces heat and no nuclear explosion is possible. The reactor is held at a constant power by a neutron absorber in the reactor, so that some of the neutrons are unable to find their way to a new uranium atom. In this way, the chain reaction does not increase. With a safe harnessing of atomic energy, peaceful applications can be put in operation for the betterment of mankind. As we have seen, the splitting of uranium atoms and subsequent chain reaction produces liberated energy or heat. Atomic energy is tremendous. Physicists have found that the energy contained in 1 ton of uranium is equal to the energy released through the burning of 3 million tons of coal. This is equivalent to a train of coal cars 600 miles long. Now we must put this heat to work to produce electricity. In this model of a Hallam reactor plant, we will see how Consumers Public Power District will produce electricity. The Hallam Nuclear Power Facility incorporates a 245,000 thermal kilowatt sodium graphite reactor for use as a full-scale electric power generating station. Liquid sodium serves as the coolant and heat transfer medium. Reactor fuel is metallic uranium, contained in clusters which are suspended within the core. A moderator made from graphite blocks surrounds the fuel element. The core tank is 33 feet deep and 19 feet in diameter. It is located beneath ground level. The core tank is surrounded by a thermal shield, an outer tank, thermal insulation, a steel vault liner, and the concrete shielding vault. Liquid sodium coolant flows into the reactor at the bottom of the core tank. From there, it flows past the hot fuel elements to an upper pool and out of the top. The radioactive coolant is pumped through a primary loop and returned to the core tank for recirculation. The heat from the sodium in the primary loop is transferred by a heat exchanger to a secondary loop, which is non-radioactive. The heat from the secondary sodium loop is to be utilized in a steam generator. The steam drives the conventional turbine generator for the production of electricity. The steam plant will produce 75,000 electrical kilowatts, with the reactor operating at its design power level of 245,000 thermal kilowatts. When new fuel is required, the fuel will be picked up from storage areas in the building and transported in the shielded casks to the top of the reactor. A pickup device within the cask is lowered to engage the used fuel element. The radioactive fuel elements are lifted out of the core as one complete unit. A revolving fuel support plate at the top of the cask is rotated to position the new fuel element over the empty fuel channel. The new fuel element is lowered into the core. The spent fuel is held in storage until it is returned to the Atomic Energy Commission for chemical processing. If it is necessary to inspect the fuel, it can be carried to a laboratory to be handled with remote equipment, without exposing the operators to the radiation. The entire operating floor is safe from radiation. The control will be handled from a central control room. The heat from the intermediate heat exchanger will be used to produce steam. And the steam will be used to turn the turbine. The electricity will then be carried to homes by means of transmission lines. Here in the Santa Susana Mountains, just 25 miles from heavily populated Los Angeles, was constructed a sodium graphite experimental plant by Atomics International. The experience gained from the Los Angeles installation is being used to improve the performance of the Hallam installation. The full power operation of this Atomics International plant is producing results which will help in the operation of the reactor at Hallam, Nebraska for consumers. Consumer's Sheldon station, modeled after the Atomics International plant, will have an output 10 times greater than the Los Angeles facilities. Consumer's new Sheldon station is located 20 miles southwest of Lincoln, Nebraska, just outside the village of Hallam. actual construction on the Sheldon station began with a groundbreaking ceremony at Hallam on June 28, 1958. This program is part of the Atomic Energy Commission's program to demonstrate the technical and economic feasibility of power reactors. A new source of power, the opening of new opportunities for industry, agriculture, and research in Nebraska. A contribution to the nation's position of leadership in the field of atomic science. This will result from consumers taking part in the national program at a cost comparable with conventional methods using coal and oil as fuel. Meanwhile, consumers' primary and utmost concern continues to be the assurance of an ample supply of low-cost electricity so that Nebraskans can, in the fullest sense of the word, live better electrically.